Yo, what's up, guys? Quick live stream. We got a lot of NBA games tonight, so we're going to find some bets. There's been value all day long. I mean, we have locked in a shit ton of plays on Underdog Fantasy, NBA back, tons of promos going on. They're bumping all my shit. So there's a promo on Jason Tatum. I already bet this earlier, but you can see PrizePicks is reducing his line to 34.5. And there's also a promo. It looks like this starts in 4 minutes on Bridges. Underdog is slashing his line to 18.5 points. So they have a discount. And my gosh, there is just so much NBA today. So hopefully there's some good plays. So obviously we want to take Bridges over for the promo. You can see all the sports books. Just looking at the OddsJam sportsbook screen, all the books kind of have Bridges at 26.5, 27.5. So obviously getting him over 18.5 for this promo is a really good play, but, we need to find some things to pair it with on Underdog Fantasy. So what we can do is we can just pull up the Fantasy Optimizer. And all this tool is going to do, pretty simple, is scan all the crap on Underdog. I mean, there's so many lines available. The site can barely keep up with me scrolling. Tens of thousands of lines, things we could bet, but, we want to figure out, okay, what plays have some value? Where's there some value in the market? So the first play OddsJam is recommending is Jalen Brunson under 6 assists. So let's take a look at, no, we don't want WNBA. That shit ended. We got NBA back. So if we look at Jalen Brunson, it's like, okay, all the other fantasy sites like PrizePicks, Jock Market, they have Jalen Brunson's line, ParlayPlay. They all have Brunson at 5.5 assists. All these sports books have Brunson at 5.5 assists as well without much juice. So it's pretty clear, right? Underdog Fantasy has Brunson's line too high relative to every other data point we have, right? Everything is baked into the market. A lot of people forget that, right? Lineups, injuries, all that sort of crap is baked into the market. PrizePicks has Jalen Brunson's line lower at 5.5 assists. So we want to hit his under for this promo, right? All the books have his line at 5.5. So that seems like a good play to go with. But ideally, we can find some other plays that we can pair with it. Some of these plays I've already included. But I mean, here's an example of another good one. Julius Randle under 13 rebounds plus assists. If we take a look at like Fliff, got a lot of bets open. But if we take a look at the Knicks game, if you look at rebounds plus assists, you can see Julius Randle, right? All the books have his line, first of all, lower than Underdog Fantasy at 12.5, but they also have the under favored. But actually, we don't really want to include this play. It doesn't really pair that well. We're already taking, Julius Randle under an assist, so it doesn't really make sense to take another player on the Knicks, Julius Randle, under in rebounds plus assists. So we can kind of skip over this play. And some of these plays I've already locked in, but, we just want to find some plays with value. Matisse Thybulle under 11.5. Rebounds plus assists. This seems like another good play to go with. So there's a fair amount of esports value right now. Only a max bet size of $10 for this Bridges promo, but we'll go ahead. We'll lock it in. What was I going to say? There's a fair amount of esports line discrepancies. Like you can see, for example, this player, Underdog has his line at 31.5. And then if you check out PrizePicks, so if we go over to PrizePicks, you're going to see, where do they have his line? So we head over to Valorant. You got to know how to navigate these books quickly. The good bets, they don't last forever. But this player, Yeoman, PrizePicks has his line all the way, at 29.5. Underdog Fantasy is at 31.5. So we have a discrepancy, but there's only 2 data points, right? There's no FanDuel, DraftKings. They don't post odds for esports. So it's not really clear, like, who's screwing up here? Is Underdog too high? Do they have their line too high? Or does PrizePicks have their line too low at 29.5? What you could do, though, is you could middle bet this. It is over 29.5. It is under 31.5. On Underdog, you're kind of like day trading the inefficiencies in the market. Bet him over 29.5, under 31.5. And if Yeoman has 30, 31, we're going to win both plays. But anyways, what we can do is we can also, more books you have, the better. This play looks crazy good. We actually locked it in the previous live stream. But again, the more books, you're using, the more profitable bets you're going to have. Is if you take a look at Holiday, so the new Celtics player, you can see I actually bet him minus 135 on the last live stream. But all these books, right, every other sports book has been ripping lines towards his under. You can kind of see, like, again, you may not use Caesars. It's still a data point, right? It's still a $10 billion company, really sophisticated model. They're taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. So you want to ruthlessly compare prices, odds from book to book and kind of find value in the market. So the second play that seems pretty good is right here. So this is in the Clippers Jazz game. We have John Collins over 5.5 rebounds. So if we go over to the Clippers game, so much NBA today. And again, what's great about the NBA is there's a lot of line movement. Like you can see in general, all these books have been moving odds towards John Collins going over. Whenever a player gets injured, is sitting out for a game, that's going to move around the market. But if we go over to the Clippers game, we can take a look at John Collins' rebounds. And we can lock in this play. So where is he? Okay, over 5.5 rebounds, 250 to win 512.49. Caesars pricing this at minus 123. They have the over favored, right? Fliff is the only sports book really that's giving us plus money on this play. Most books actually have the over favored. So again, plus 105 odds. It's like flipping a coin with a friend, where if the coin shows up heads, you get $105. If the coin shows up tails, you lose $100, right? You're betting 100 to win 105. But most books have the over favored, right? Like Bet Online, Bovada, Pinnacle, Hot Streak. Pinnacle is known to be one of the sharpest, smartest sports books. They all have John Collins favored, to go over 5.5 rebounds. So it's like we found a coin that's weighted in our favor, right? We're using market information. All these books have is over favored, and we're getting plus money. We're getting plus 105 odds, which is an underdog price. So obviously that seems like a pretty damn good play to go with. And there's a lot of opportunity right now. So we can go back to Underdog Fantasy, kind of bounce around from book to book. ParlayPlay today, another fantasy platform, they have a 20% deposit match. So you put in $250, you get $50 free. Like a lot of easy value, easy money that you can make on these books. So if we head over to Underdog, damn, this play seems quite good. So if we go back here, looks like this NFL play just popped up. We have Jamal Adams. Let's refresh this. So you can see they didn't have that line available. They just had his solo tackles and his assist lineup. But if we refresh this, yes. Waiting on location, okay. Let's look up Jamal Adams. And let's take a look. Come on, baby. What the fuck? Underdog Fantasy. Come on. So stupid. Anyways, okay. So let's check out Jamal Adams if this site ends up loading. Super frustrating, but you can see all the books have his over super heavily favored. So this would be a great play to go with. And you can see they already removed it. Or did this not even load yet? These books can be pretty janky sometimes. Yes, you can use my location. Okay. Jamal Adams. So looks like they got rid of this play, but they had his tackles plus assist lineup, which looked pretty damn good. But that play ended up moving. So let's go back here and we can look for some, more plays because we ended up missing that. So this play on Julius Randle seems good. Again, all these esports plays. Right now, I just see two books posting lines for CS2 tomorrow, Hot Streak and Underdog. So again, you don't have a ton of data points. It's not really clear, like, okay, which book is screwing up. But there are some other plays And you can see we have a pretty good start on Underdog Fantasy in general. Obviously not all green. Here we have in a $100 insured entry, we lost one leg. But if the final play wins, we'll still turn it into $250 in profit. And then we have some plays from yesterday's live stream, Drew Holiday. But anyways, let's go here. Let's check out the first play OddsJam is recommending. Damn, another flash sale. So there are just a lot of bets right now. So it's recommending we take in the Warriors game, Kaminga over 15.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. So again, all OddsJam's doing for these fantasy sites is reading in the odds from all the books and, kind of pointing out value in the market. So if you go over to Caesars, it's not like every sports book. It doesn't look like every book has lines listed for him. But just to kind of show you why this play is good is if we go over to Caesars and then we look at the Warriors game right here. So Warriors Kings, just like the last playoffs. And you look at player combos, you're going to see, right, his line, he's heavily favored to go over 15.5 PRAs, right? The way that Underdog Fantasy works is they give you the same payout, right? If you take him over, you take him under, doesn't matter. Underdog has fixed payouts. Any 3-pick entry we create, we're always going to be getting a 6x payout. Doesn't matter if we take his over, his under. So the strategy for beating Underdog is pretty simple. Is you just want to find spots if the site fucking loads where the over or the under is heavily favored. This is literally so fucking stupid. Load. Anyways, Underdog Fantasy just casually not loading before a huge fucking NBA slate. Gotta love to see it. Anyways. So again, like the reason we want to take his over, if we're able to get to it in time, is all the sports books, right, have his over heavily favored. So even if you don't use Caesars, it's a data point, right? $10 billion company telling you, hey, he's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. This is insane. This is the stupidest shit in the world. Load. So there we go. It's absolutely insane. So let's get rid of this and let's get rid of this. So this will be the first pick we go with. Underdog Fantasy's been a little janky all day. So that's the first play we want to go with. And then we can look for some other plays. There's also a lot of good opportunity on PrizePicks. I mean, like you can see this play right here. PrizePicks has Jonathan Kaminga. They have his line at 12.5 points plus rebounds. If we go over to points plus rebounds, we can take a look and see where the rest of the books have him. What are they doing, right? They have his line at 12.5 points plus rebounds. All these other books have him at 14.5. So this seems like a really good play we can go with on PrizePicks. I don't think it's a promo. So if we go over to points plus rebounds, right? This play seems insanely good. We're literally creating our own discount. So you may want to move quickly on this. PrizePicks gives me really low betting limits, but they're giving us a 6 PRA discount on Jason Tatum, a 6-point discount. They're reducing his line from 40.5 to 34.5. And here on Kaminga, you can see it's like, I don't even know what they're doing. All these books have his line at 14.5 and PrizePicks, or even 15.5. And PrizePicks is just casually chilling at 12.5. So that seems like a crazy good play to go with. So let's try to see, though, if we can finish this underdog slip. So the second play we wanted to go with, but I didn't include it in the last slip, is Julius Randle, right? We want to take him under 13 rebounds plus assists. And then what we could do is we could include the play on Mitchell, or, we can try to find one final play to go with. So here seems like a decent play. We have Zeus. So this is a League of Legends play, which obviously, what's great about esports is there's just so many games. And you can see they just bumped it to 14.5. So when I talk about good bets fucking move, if you're trying to get an edge on these platforms and win, these things can move. So you can see PrizePicks has his line at 5.5. PrizePicks has his line at 5. PrizePicks has his line at 5, Underdog Fantasy at 5.5. So this seems like a pretty good play to go with if the site loads and I can place my play. Fuck. So $100 max bet size, that's what they give me. You know, I don't care what I'm betting on. Sometimes there's more value in League of Legends. Sometimes it's the NBA. It just kind of depends. So we got down our first play, and Underdog Fantasy is extremely janky, so maybe we kind of avoid it for a little bit going forward. So what we can do is we can go back here, and, you know, this play disappeared really quickly. Oh, shit. What is going on? So you can see Max Strus over 4.5 rebounds. FanDuel just ripped his line to -198. So as you get closer to game time, you'll notice a lot of these lines start to move around. A lot of last-minute injuries, official starting lineups are released. All that stuff moves around the market. You can see there's some good arbitrage bets as well. Arbitrage is crazy. It's how I started sports betting. And essentially, when these books get super out of sync with one another, if you move quickly, I mean, you saw how quick the last line on PrizePicks moved. All of 15 seconds, it seemed like it was available. So you got to move quickly. I'm sure some people got it down. But arbitrage is when these books get so out of sync. You can bet the over on one book, in this case DraftKings, the under on a second book, in this case FanDuel, and make a risk-free profit because the books are so out of sync, right? Like -330, -140. It's like, what's going on in this game? So you bet the over on DraftKings for, say, 250, the under on FanDuel. It tells you, hey, hedge on FanDuel, bet 130, and you'll make $48 in risk-free profit. That's arbitrage betting. Damn, there's a lot of arbitrage bets right now on Levert. So I don't know. Maybe something was announced. I mean, a lot of times it kind of correlates to injuries or like lineup announcements. So you'll notice stuff like this. When official starting lineups are released, this will move around the market, or players being ruled out. Shit like this. Right? If Darius Garland is ruled out, all the other players, right, on the Cavs, their player prop lines need to move. Who's going to be scoring more points? Who's going to be getting more rebounds? The entire market has to move and adjust to this information. So we can actually see like what happened in this game after he was announced as, you know, sitting out. So you can see the Cavs were -180 favorites. Garland became questionable. And now they're all the way only -130 favorites. So this is just the money line. Everything else has to move. Player props, all that crap, right? Someone has to score more points. So if we go here, can kind of take a look at the market. So this is probably why, you know, a lot of good player props are showing up in the Cavs game. My assumption would be, like you can see, there's a shit ton of line discrepancies. Again, all these books set lines independently. So whenever new information, you know, players get injured, stuff like that, all these books have to update their lines in lockstep with one another. Because again, they're all setting their own lines. They're all doing it themselves. There's hundreds of sports books out there, FanDuel, DraftKings, ParlayPlay, you know, so they all need to update odds. So we're already on Tatum over 34.5, or I am at least, for this PrizePicks promo. I gave this play out on Twitter. If you go back to PrizePicks, they're running this promo on Jason Tatum. But you can see there's really solid value on his under on ParlayPlay. So what we can do is we can middle bet this, right? So this is an example of a good middle bet. There's value on his under. So a lot of people, you know, will be like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. You bet him over 34.5 for the PrizePicks promo, and you bet him under 41.5 on ParlayPlay. And it's like, well, hey, that's where the value is, right? Like all these other books have his line at 40.5 in general, PRAs with the under favored. And you can see ParlayPlay is chilling at 41.5. Right? So we're getting a point of value relative to the market. I mean, there's literally dozens of data points. All these books setting lines are a data point, right? They're all points bet, all this crap. They're all telling us, hey, his line should be lower. So it's like, okay, that seems like a good play to go with. Metcalf, his line is 53.5 receiving yards here. All the books have him at 48.5. Bovada, Pinnacle has his line at 48.5 with the under heavily favored. So we want Collins under, Metcalf under, points plus rebounds and receiving yards. So then we can go here to Metcalf. We want to take him under in receiving yards. So we can make a little 6-pick parlay on ParlayPlay. So again, the number of picks you go with on each of these platforms really matters. So you can see that Underdog Fantasy. If we go back to Underdog, take a look at Underdog. Right, we're getting 100 to win 600, a 6x payout. ParlayPlay only gives you a 5x payout for these 3-pick, parlays that you create. So it does matter, like on all these platforms, like, oh, how many picks are you going with? Stuff like that. Points plus assists. OddsJam is saying we should take Bam under. There's value on Bam's under. And again, I obviously follow a very data-driven approach. I have hundreds of bets placed today. So we're getting him under 31. You can see, all these are under 21. All these other books have adjusted him to 29.5, 19.5. ParlayPlay sitting at 21. Lines are moving. You can see the line movement highlighted in red and green on this sportsbook screen. All these other books have his line at 19.5. PrizePicks 20.5. FanDuel 20.5 with the under favored. So it's very clear that getting him under 21 is a good deal. We have Peterson to get an assist, and then we have Dort under 5.5 rebounds. So how did these plays pair together? They pair fine. So we can go here, and we want this, and then we want this, right? And we have a little 6-pick parlay. So we want this over and then this under. And again, they only have a max bet size of $60 on this platform. But this will be the play we go with. So then you can go here. And again, we actually have some pretty good looking plays. So if we look up this, these are 6-pick parlays. You're betting 60 to win 2.4K, or $60 is their max bet size. It's a 40x payout. You can see we're 4 for 4 here. And this play was insanely good when we bet it. We got, Smith, Houston's quarterback, over 240.5 passing yards. If you check out where the rest of the books have his line, so if we just pull up this sportsbook screen, all the other books have him at 270. ParlayPlay increased his line by 30 yards. They have him set at 270.5. So we got 30 yards worth of value relative to the market. But again, that bet is long gone. ParlayPlay pulled that down in a fucking heartbeat once they realized it was available. But we all got it on the live stream. So we can go back here. So there's some plays on PrizePicks, but PrizePicks, they literally hate me. Because you'll see, first of all, they don't even let me. There was a lot of value on PrizePicks today, so I hit a lot of bets on the earlier live streams. First of all, they only let me bet $25 max. The maximum entry amount you can get is $25, and then they tell me, hey, you've already bet too much money today. So I literally can't even place bets on this platform right now, but you can see there's some solid bets like Luka, points plus rebounds plus assists. If we check out this, points plus rebounds plus assists for Doncic, all these other books have ripped his line lower to 46.5, 45.5, underdogs at 45.5. So this looks like a great spot to fade Luka. And it may not seem like a big difference. What the hell? Who really cares? 1.5 point difference between Caesars and PrizePicks, underdog and PrizePicks. But this is how you get an edge. You win more of your plays and you win long term. Nobody wins every bet. I don't have any locks for tonight. That's bullshit. The closest thing you're going to get to a lock in sports betting is arbitrage, which again is when these books get so out of sync with one another that you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, and guarantee yourself a risk-free profit. So here for Drew Holiday, Fliff keeps moving his odds in the wrong direction. They had this minus 135, which I bet on the previous live stream. They moved it to minus 125 and now back to minus 125, which seems crazy. So Fliff has a max bet size of 250. So you could bet his under on Fliff, hit his over on FanDuel for 190. Usually I recommend round your bet sizes. Don't follow an arbitrage calculator exactly. So don't bet 190.68. Bet 190. And you'll make approximately $9 in risk-free profit. Takes like 2 seconds to do. Just pull up, the Heat game, search for the Heat game, go to Drew Holiday, hit his under and assists at minus 125, his over at plus 136. And due to this massive discrepancy, right, minus 200 on FanDuel, minus 125 on Fliff, right, when the books get super out of sync, you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, and make a risk-free profit. It's not like glamorous, but it's free money. And who can complain with free money? I know I can't. Holy moly. So here's another play. It's like, what the hell are they doing? DraftKings, BetOnline, and then Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker, they all have Quinn Hughes favored to go over 2.5 shots. Fliff has this line at plus 105. It's like, what are they doing? So Fliff has this line at plus 105. So it's like, okay. And again, we're getting underdog odds. We're betting 100 to win 105. And all the other sports books, including Pinnacle and BetOnline, which are two very sharp sports books, they have his over favored, right? So it's like flipping a coin again with a friend where you win $105 if it shows up heads. You only lose 100 if it shows up tails. And the coin is weighted to show up on heads. We're using market information. All these books are saying, hey, he's more likely to go over as opposed to under. DraftKings, BetOnline, Pinnacle, they all have his over favored. So they're telling you he's more likely to go over. BetOnline has the over as a minus 139 favorite. Pinnacle has the over as a slight favorite, minus 117. So these books are telling you, hey, he's more likely to go over as opposed to under. And we're getting plus 105 odds, which is a no-brainer. God, Molly, there are some crazy line discrepancies on ParlayPlay right now. 60 to win 2.4K. So again, like you really have to, these are 40x payouts that we're playing on ParlayPlay. So obviously we're not going to win every bet. You're not even going to win one of 5 bets. You're betting 60 to win 2.4K. So the variance can be, pretty brutal to say the least. Which is why you want to place a lot of bets, right? ParlayPlay has a lot of good lines available in the NBA. There's a lot of good bets that you can place with an edge. So you just want to get down as many bets as you can kind of on a daily basis. So you can see there's also value on Tatum's under. This happens all the time. There's value on his under and PRAs. There's also value on Tatum under and points plus rebounds. So that's not surprising. Take his under. Luka under 17.5 rebounds plus assists. I forget if I already locked that in. Josh Giddey under 14 rebounds plus assists. All the other books have his line at 13.5. So these small edges, right, they compound to make you a shit ton of money long term. It's just how it works. So that can be the next play we go with. We have Walker Kessler under 19.5 PRAs. All the books have his line at 18.5, which you can see right here. So this fantasy optimizer doesn't do anything complicated. It's just constantly scanning the market. All these books are moving around lines based on, a ton of things. Injuries, lineup changes, odds are always shifting around. So as a sharp bettor, we're just kind of like following the market, to find these plays with an edge. Austin Eckler under 52.5 rushing yards. All the books have him like 5-6 yards lower. Not glamorous, but an easy way to make money. The data never lies long term. Like so many people, they think about each bet so specifically. When you have an edge and you're going to win long term, it's pretty simple. I just follow the data, lock in a ton of plays with an edge, and then I let the math work itself out. So we have Paulo over 31.5 PRAs. All the other books you can see have his line much higher, or not much higher, but at 31.5. So we have an edge. So this can be the next play we go with. And there we go. We have another pick, and you can just take you can pause it for a second if you want a tail. Scotty Barnes. And then we can lock in maybe one more play on ParlayPlay. There's been value all over this platform. So I always say, like, follow the value. I mean, if you are profitable, if you make money on PrizePicks, they're not going to let you bet $5,000 on whatever you want forever or $500. They're going to reduce your maximum bet size. So having as many bucks as possible is going to be really helpful for you. And again, sometimes there's more value on PrizePicks. Other times it's Underdog, stuff like that. So we just want to find a bunch of plays with an edge. Damn, we got a college football play for tonight. I forgot there was college football tonight. And we can lock in these and then see if there's anything else on flip. Porzingis, under 23 points plus assists. All the books have him at 21.5, 22.5 on MGM. So again, like all these books where they're setting their lines, we just kind of like, okay, treat that as a source of information, as a data point as we find our plays. And there we go. We have another 6-pick entry. And again, you want to play these without insurance. So here we go, another 6-pick entry. And some of these will win. Some, obviously, most of them will lose. These are 6-leg parlays. We're not going to hit 50% of them. 6X parlays with a $2,400 payout for a $60 bet size. Some good arbitrage plays available. You can see Fliff, they bumped this back to minus 130. So again, they're constantly kind of like shifting their lines around. Hit the over on FanDuel, the under on Fliff, make a risk-free profit. What's better than that? But we'll call it a day for now. Enjoy the games. I know they're starting to start, and thanks so much for your time.